Howdy, it's Jim Morado, and this is, I believe, late February 2022, and we are right between Kentucky, Tennessee, and Virginia. We're at the Cumberland Gap. We're going to drive through the tunnel, and then we're going to drive to Cumberland Gap, Tennessee, and just see that beautiful little town. This is a great location. There's a ton of stuff here. In my books, it's a bit of an underrated location. You've got the Cumberland Gap National Park, Lincoln Memorial University in Harrogate, Tennessee, with their wonderful Abraham Lincoln Museum, and you've got the very scenic little town of Cumberland Gap, Tennessee. I mean, it's just in Middlesboro, Kentucky. You've got a lot of history and a lot of cool stuff right in one small area. Anyway, check out the tunnel. I'll let you enjoy that experience.
Take ramp on right to US 58 East.
Yeah, and there is the light at the end of the tunnel, and just thought I'd give you a little bit of history about the Cumberland Gap Tunnel, mostly pretty much from Wikipedia. It mentions that the tunnel, which is near the intersection of Kentucky, Tennessee, and Virginia, consists of two separate bores which carry 4 lanes of traffic between Cumberland Gap, Tennessee, and Middlesboro, Kentucky. It is one of only 2 mountain vehicular tunnels in the U.S., and the other one is between Virginia and West Virginia. It opened to traffic in 1996 and replaced a section of highway through the Cumberland Gap that had earned the nickname Massacre Mountain due to its hazardous design and high rate of traffic accidents. And just don't want to bore you with a whole lot of other details. You can look those up on Wikipedia if you like. But a couple of things that stood out to me that I thought was kind of interesting. In 1984, Ronald Reagan abruptly issued an order to halt the project of building this tunnel, mostly to reduce the federal budget deficit. It was resumed in 1985. The tunnels were expected to be open to traffic by 1991 and cost about $160 million. During the excavation, when they were excavating, workers discovered thick clay infillings, limestone formations, caves, multiple underground springs and streams, and a lake within the mountain, which caused leakage of 450 U.S. gallons of water per minute into the tunnels, and that would pose a challenge to construction and increase the cost of the project. And construction of the actual tubes began on June 21st, 1991, and excavation continued simultaneously from both sides, and the tunnels were joined on July 9th, 1992. They opened to traffic October 18th, 1996, and discussion of a tunnel, I was reading earlier, had started back as early as 1956, so that was a big old project that took a while to to reach completion. So yeah, that was a drive through the tunnel, and now we're doing a quick drive through just the great little town of Cumberland Gap, Tennessee. I'm going to put some other videos up. I think I've put up a couple videos already of some of the other things to do in this area. Again, you could spend a whole lot of time in this area. It's deceptively packed with history and things to do. It looks quiet. It looks calm. But yeah, there is, I know there's the old Cujo's Cavern Cave, which is now managed by the National Park Service. I know it was closed during COVID, and the last time I asked at the visitor center, it was still closed. If they haven't opened that back up, surely they will be soon. There's the other things I mentioned. There's also Gap Creek Coffee down here in Cumberland Gap, which is just a very, very cozy little coffee shop. And as we'll see here in a moment, I'll shut up so you can listen to it, there's a beautiful stream running through this town. I noticed there's a bed and breakfast down here, and one of the main hiking trails of the Cumberland Gap area is right by the coffee shop, and I have not done that trail, and I am itching to. In fact, I'll probably just take a day trip and go do that sometime in the near future, if I don't try to do maybe a 2 or 3 day trip down here, because I like this area a lot, and I like sneaking off down here when I can. It's also kind of a nice halfway point. We did Greenville, Tennessee recently, and this is kind of between Lexington and Greenville, Tennessee. So if you're doing like a far, eastern Tennessee trip, if you're going into Middlesboro, Kentucky, yeah, this is a great spot to stop and check out. And right now we're driving over towards the coffee shop, but yeah, check out the stream. Yeah, you're welcome. That last shot was right by Gap Creek Coffee. A couple nice establishments there. It'd be nice to sip a cup of coffee from Gap Creek Coffee as you enjoy that, just that little creek going through town. That's great. And I believe it had been kind of snowy and wet while we were there, so that was a little more forceful than usual. Oh yeah, and we're passing by Lincoln Memorial University. They've got that great, yeah, right in there. See Abe's picture? They've got a great Abraham Lincoln Museum, and it's just a few miles away from Cumberland Gap. So yeah, just wanted to put that up real quick. Did I miss something in the Cumberland Gap area? If you've got some cool stories or you know something specifically about Cumberland Gap, Tennessee, or the tunnel, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks a lot.